The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
It ain't that right. We're not going to take it. Hello, everybody out there listening to Arm Radio. Thank you for tuning into my show, All Aboard, with Don Whisman. That's me. And this show is being broadcast live from Boston, Massachusetts. First thing I want to do tonight, you guys, is I want to introduce my co-host and a man I consider my brother, Dave Coots. Say hello to everybody, Dave.
Hey, everybody out there.
And if anybody's wondering tonight where Les Skymo is, he actually got his own show on Armed Radio. It premieres Wednesday, March the 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The name of Les's show is going to be called Unscheduled. All I can say is I wish him the best of luck, and I hope you succeed, Les. Good deal, brother. I'll be listening. And I also have another friend that's going to be doing her own show on Armed Radio. It premieres on March the 14th, which is actually tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The name of her show is Talk Live Paranormal with Shannon Griffin, and I'm sure that's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, a lot of people in this country, they're into that paranormal stuff, and a lot of people like it. So good luck, Shannon. And also, before I get started tonight, we got a lot of stuff to talk tonight about, Dave, but I would like to thank Joe Rocks for giving me the opportunity to do this show every week. And I want to thank Jimmy Bell and Paul Daniels for all the help they've given me since I've had this show, and they've helped me out a lot. And as always, I want to send my prayers out to all the men and women serving in our military, past and present. Just remember, you guys, they are over there across this world fighting for our liberties that are trying to be taken away in our own country, and that's kind of crap that really makes me mad. We'll be getting into that later on in the show, but I do want everybody to know that I do have a Facebook group called Trump 2020 ! So if you support our 45th president, please join our group, but don't forget that exclamation point. It's Trump 2020 ! Really good group, so go ahead and join that if you don't mind. And yes, we will be taking calls tonight. So here's the number. So get your pen and paper out if you don't already know the number. The number is 1-800-508-5431. So me and Dave, we're going to talk for a little bit. So if you don't mind, start calling in around 8:30 p.m. tonight Eastern Time. And I'm going to limit the calls down to about 2 minutes per call. So that way we can give everybody a chance to voice their opinion, and that's what I really want to do. This, so like I've said before, it's not about just me and David. It's about what the other people in our country think, and I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. If you like us or not, call in and let us know what you think. Now, Dave, are you ready to get this on the road, brother?
Let's get this thing started, brother.
Well, the biggest thing right now that's going on, the voting has just stopped in Pennsylvania, their special election for the 18th Congressional District. This election was to fill a vacant seat left by a Republican representative. I think his name was Tim Murphy, who resigned because of some kind of sex scandal. But Dave, I just hope, for the sake of our country, that the good people of Pennsylvania, They voted for Republican Rick Stacone. Now, there's this Democrat that's running against him tonight. His name is Connor Lamb. Please, Pennsylvania, I hope you guys made the right decision, because, Dave, Pennsylvania, there's 18 representatives from Pennsylvania that goes up to the House of Representatives from Washington. Dave, we can't afford to lose any of those seats, especially tonight. We can't, because it'll be kind of like a precursor to the big midterm election coming up this year. We done lost down there in Alabama with Roy Moore. We don't need to lose. I know that was a Senate seat, but this is just for the House of Representatives, Dave. But we can't afford this. We can't afford to lose any more Republicans. And you got anything you want to say about tonight's race, Dave?
No, you're right, Don. We can't afford to lose any more, conservatives. And Pennsylvania, if you're in that 18th district, I hope you guys made the right choice tonight. I mean, you have to remember this is a battle. That's why we do what we do. We're trying to change the country one show at a time.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's right, Dave. And if like Dave, when we do each one of these shows, if we can just open up one guy's eyes or one woman's eyes and make her start thinking, how a patriotic American thinks, it's all worth it to me, Dave. What do you think, man? Is it worth it to open up one person?
Absolutely, Donald. I mean, if we can get one person thinking and not really thinking, Republican or Democrat or just being involved. Get out and get involved.
That's right, and we're going to talk about that later too, Dave, if we get a chance. But Dave, did you hear that the Intelligence Committee Republicans said yesterday that they found no evidence of collusion between the Trump's campaign and Russia to sway the 2016 election? I knew it all the time there was no collusion. Now the Democrats are coming back and all this and that. Dave, there was never no collusion, brother. It was a waste of money. Robert Mueller, you wasted a lot of money, brother. That's all I can say.
Well, and I don't think Robert Mueller's money-wasting days are over yet. I mean, just because the Republicans come out and said it, the first thing the Democrats do is they come out and challenge it. But I mean, what we need to do is let's go into the the paid-for dossier, the FISA warrants. Let's dig a little bit deeper into that, because I think that cesspool over there to the left is a little bit murkier than what they were trying to drum up for the 45th president.
Yeah, I think it's been a political witch hunt, Dave, ever since he became the president-elect. I just feel it has. I mean, I think they've been trying to set this narrative. It didn't work. Now they're going to move on to something else like they normally do. I mean, you got anything else you want to talk about, Dave, on that issue?
Well, I think, they're under the assumption that if they say it enough over and over and over that the American people will eventually believe it. That they won't look at the facts. They'll just listen to mainstream media. But what they need to realize, though, is people are starting to wake up in this country. They've had enough. They've seen some of the things that our president has done. They've seen tax cuts. They've seen more money in their paycheck. They've seen them try, deregulations and stuff. These people are seeing this stuff, and they're starting to realize that the mainstream media is just dead set against this president, and it's not working.
It isn't working, and I do believe you're right. And Dave, we do got something to talk about that here in a few minutes. We was talking about this morning, but our president, Dave, this is a big one. It happened just today. I mean, I had to rewrite a bunch of stuff because so much news broke this morning, actually. Our president sent out a tweet this morning, Dave. He said that Mike Pompeo, the current director of the CIA, will become the new Secretary of State. So I mean, he didn't tweet this, but so Rex Tillerson's out, you guys, and Gina Haspel will become the new director of the CIA. Now, she will be the first woman ever to be the director of the CIA. But Dave, the liberals, they're already saying that her history to torture could hamper her confirmation. They're already saying that her role in the CIA's black site programs and that she detained and tortured terrorist suspects. What do you do? I mean, what do you do with people like that, Dave? I mean, are you supposed to give them cake, ice cream, give them back rubs? We're at war, people. We are at war with terrorism. We're not supposed to treat these people nice. But I'm not even going to call them Democrats anymore, Dave. I'm going to call them what they are. They're socialists and they're communists. They're not Democrats anymore, brother.
No, they're not. We've talked about that in the past. The old blue dog Democrat. The guys that love their country and was for the working man. That's over with. These guys are so far left now, and you knew that as soon as Trump, announced that nomination, that they were going to start picking and fighting him at every level for her. But you know what? A month ago, 2 months ago, he was running the campaign. He was a misogynist. He hated women. He discriminated. He appoints the first ever CIA female director, and the first thing they want to do is start attacking her.
You're right, and isn't there another lady that's on his administration, like the head of education? I forget her name. Oh shoot!
Well,
But
I believe he has more women on his cabinet than any other president ever has.
oh yes, I, in my own beliefs, Dave, the man doesn't have anything against women. This is all made up, just like all this other garbage going around, man. I'm just so tired of hearing it, Dave. It's just every week. And Dave, we're already getting a call. I wasn't going to take any calls till 8:30. Do you want me to go ahead and take it? I'll go ahead and take it. Hello, thank you for calling All Aboard, and could you give me your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
Is calling for extension 5 to accept. Press
I gotta hit one, you guys.
To send the voicemail, press.
Thanks for calling the show All Aboard. Can I get your first name and what state you're calling from, please? Hello? Well, we had a bad call there, but everybody, please wait till about 8:30. You only got about 15 minutes, and me and Dave's going to talk about a few things, but seriously, call us. The number is 1-800-508-5431, and I'll tell you guys again in a minute when we get ready, but Dave, and this is something that me and you was talking about this morning, and I really want you to get in this, Dave, because this is really important. This NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, Dave. Tell everybody out there what you read this morning about the NFIB.
Well, basically, guys, the National Federation of Independent Businesses is like a coalition of all the small businesses around the country, and they've recently put out a report that says since 2006, for the first time, finding a worker is their top priority, their top worry. You know, before it was taxes and regulations. So that just goes to what our president is doing. You know, cutting regulations, cutting taxes, helping small businesses to be able to succeed in this country. That's what's going to make this country great.
And there's jobs out there, Dave, isn't there? I mean, there is jobs. I mean, here a while back, when Obama's administration was in there for 8 years, it was hard to find a job. There's actually jobs out there. The country's growing, Dave. It is. And
well, yeah, I mean, if you look, we have some of the lowest unemployment rates that we've ever had
in history, Dave.
In history, exactly. And that's what lower tax rates do. You know, it enables an employer to reinvest money back into their business, back into their employees, and it helps that company grow. When you're limited in that company because you have a 35 or 30% tax bracket, you're limiting that company to what they can do.
And yes, and another thing you said, the restrictions. Now, didn't Trump say for every restriction I want 2 dropped? Wasn't that for every new restriction or regulation I want 1 dropped?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's good on business. That's good for America, right, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, here's the thing. We've talked about the overreach of government before. You know, we need regulations, obviously, because if not, most of these companies would run wild. But when big government gets into it and they regulate it so much that you're choking these small companies out, why? Because these big companies, that they have lobbyists in Washington that these small companies can't have, and like we've said before, some of these senators and congressmen, when they put that suit jacket on, they might as well have a billboard and a logo for everybody that's put $1 in their pocket.
Well, what about what me and you was talking about the other day, Dave, about these trade deficits and tariffs, and how Trump is keeping his promise to make America great again. Let's get into this trade deficits and tariffs, Dave. What's going on with our country when it comes to that? I mean, I know that's part of making America great again, too, and that all goes in with jobs and everything, but what's going on with this, Dave, the trade deficits and all these tariffs?
Well, I mean, for a long time, Donald, we've had a trade deficits with every other country. Why? Because we've had weak leaders. Now you've got a guy who's a businessman who comes in and says, you know what, we should not have a $1 billion trade deficit with this country, or $500 million with this country. He sees a problem. He just implemented, I think it's a 25% tariff on steel and a 10% tariff on aluminum. So what happened as a result of that? Granite City, Illinois, a steel company just announced 550 people are coming back to work because they're anticipating that the business is going to go up because of that tariff. There was a steel company in Ohio firing the plant back up. Why? Because they're anticipating the business is going to go up because of these tariffs. People are dogging. They dog this man every move he makes. But if you cut this trade deficit down and you make these countries competition for what we're doing for our product too. It's going to help our country as a whole.
Well, let's take China for instance, Dave. See, I wasn't really up to par with all these trade deficits and how trade went and everything. But I always knew that China was shipping in more stuff than we was shipping to China. So now what happens now? Say like the stuff that China ships here, they're actually going to have to pay to ship that here now. Is that kind of what these tariffs are about?
Well, for the steel and the aluminum, it will be for now. But a lot of people don't know this, but what China is doing right now is they're stocking it up in Canada and Mexico and shipping it in, trying to circumvent some of the tariffs. But what the president said was, he excluded Canada and Mexico from that tariff, but he said, we're going to deal with them when we renegotiate NAFTA. So I think that'll eventually end up closing that loophole.
That's what I was getting at. So there was loopholes that with this North American Free Trade Agreement, and China was using that to benefit themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and here's the thing. Walmart, God love them. I mean, they've made China a superpower.
Oh, God, they have, haven't they?
Yeah, they've made China wealthy. China is doing nothing but investing into their military. And, they're making China a formidable force, which they always were, but more so now than ever. And it's just because if you can't go to a Walmart and look, everything's made in China.
You're right. And you remember us talking last week, Dave, that how these big companies were going to start raising the age limit on people's guns and stuff. I think that's cool. Let these big companies, they'll eventually, Dave, the people, I hope it sends them back to these family-owned businesses, the small business guys. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, not just when it comes to guns, but everything else. People really need to start thinking about these big corporations like Walmart, Dave. Sometimes there's every town you go to, there's at least one Mart, and sometimes there's 2 or 3 Walmarts, just depending on the size of that town. I mean, they have literally killed the little family businesses, places like Walmart, Speedway, your big corporations. They've killed the little man, Dave, in this country. And I know it's we live in a capitalistic country, but man, I just wish the little guy would have had a better chance. You know what I mean? Because like Walmart, they get their stuff really cheap because they buy so much of it from China, of course. But they've killed the little guy out here, Dave, in this country. I feel the little guy has been neglected. The little companies, that family-owned companies. You run your own company. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean they've made it impossible for a small business to compete. And going back to the gun thing, with like Walmart and Dick's and Field and Stream, raising that age limit up to 21 to even be able to buy ammo. I mean, I'm in, and they're going to go to these little small mom and pop gun shops, these small businesses that these people are starting up, and they're still going to buy their AR, they're still going to buy their ammo. They're just going to get it. They're just going to get it somewhere else. It's called competition. That's a word that we've used on this show before.
Well, sure.
Competition is what made this country great.
Well, it didn't really bother me much when I heard Walmart was going to raise their age limit up, or they wasn't going to sell, these certain types of stuff for these ARs. It didn't really bother me because I felt good in a way because I knew the little guy. He may make him some profit, Dave, just because of the stupid decisions that these big corporations are making because they're so politically correct. Everybody wants to be politically correct, and on that side of the fence, let's just do the right right thing. What is the right thing, Dave? I mean, taking away our rights isn't the right thing to do. It's just not the right thing to do, Dave.
No, the right thing to do is sticking to the Constitution, that our founding fathers put forth for us. They knew what they were doing. One of the oldest constitutions, in the world.
Yes,
it hasn't failed us yet. It's not going to fail us if we just stick to it.
If we stick to it, but Dave, the Democrats right now, they're trying to deny us of our liberties in the name of safety. Now I'm talking about these schools. Now, don't let them fool you guys. People like Dianne Feinstein, they want to disarm you. Believe me, they do. People like Dianne Feinstein, what's her name, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, and what's that big fat lady's name? Rosie O'Donnell. They want to disarm you, but don't be fooled by these people, because I'm telling you, they're not. What they're not telling you is they are being guarded by people with guns, but yet they want to go out here and preach for you not to have a gun. That's so hypocritical. What hypocrites are? I mean, that is hypocrite, Dave. Like Dianne Feinstein. You don't think anywhere she goes there ain't an army of men, or not an army, but she's got a full guarded detail, men carrying guns around her. But she has the audacity to sit around and talk about us taking our guns and our freedoms away. Dave, that gets me mad, brother. It does, man.
Oh, it does me too. And she actually made the comment one time that once the criminal realized, they were in a gun-free zone and that you weren't armed, they would lay down their weapon, and that it was human nature. Well, how does that work in these school shootings when they walk in a gun-free zone and nobody else don't have a gun? It doesn't. People die, and that's what these people need to realize. They want to disarm us. That's their whole agenda. They want to make us servants.
Though, Dave, I know how you feel, and you've told me that you're not going to surrender your weapons, and I agree with you. I think something's brewing up in this country, Dave. I'm not trying to scare everybody out there. I don't want nobody panicking. Please don't think that, but something's going on in this country, and just like tonight, Pennsylvania's got a chance right now tonight. They were all day. They had a chance to make things right, to do the right thing. So, Dave, update me if you hear anything on this. If we get a winner tonight at that district in Pennsylvania, update me on that. But I just wanted to tell everybody out there that we, the United Sheepdogs of Ohio, we were led by our CEO, Mr. Coots, my co-host and brother. He led us into Columbus, Ohio this past Saturday to protest against State Bill 260. Now, I want to let everybody know, in Ohio, if this bill passes, it will be illegal to own any weapon that holds more than 10 rounds of ammo. Now, don't get that confused, because I'm going to get to another bill that the government's got going on right now. Now you can do your part by calling Senator William Coley. This is an Ohio senator, not a federal senator, but a state of Ohio senator. His name is Senator William Coley II. He's a Republican senator. He's over this committee where the bill's at right now. And if it makes it through this committee, you guys, it'll go to the Ohio Senate floor. And if it makes it there, we've got a governor named John Kasich. I don't trust him. I don't like him. It's his last year in office. It's untelling. That guy would sign our rights away, Dave. I don't trust him.
He'll sign it, Donald. He'll sign it.
Oh, and yeah.
And Donald's got the number for you guys to call. And I'm calling out every Ohioan that's listening to this show. If you are a gun owner, if you are a constitutionalist, if you love the Constitution, if you love your freedoms, you need to pick up the phone. You need to call this number. You need to tell these politicians that we have had enough, and that we're not going to lie down. We're not going to take your crap. You're not going to disarm us. You're not going to make us subservient to the government. It's not going to happen.
Yes, you're right, Dave, and I'm going to tell everybody, please call this number I'm getting ready to give you right now, and just like Dave said, or just tell them no on State Bill 260. Now, I hope everybody's got a pencil and paper down that lives in Ohio. The number is, and this is to Senator William Coley II, he's a Republican senator, 614-466-8072. Every call counts, you guys. That's called public persuasion. Get up off your butts. Open your eyes. Go to these rallies. Speak up. Call your senators, your local senators. Let them know that you're tired of it. Just like our theme song, we're not going to take it anymore. Tell them that. We're not going to take it as patriotic Americans. Just, Dave, I just get mad when I talk about it. Now, a lot of people, Dave, they're getting this Ohio State Bill 260. They're getting this mixed up with this federal bill. I think it's called
HR 5087.
HR 5087. Yeah, it's an assault weapons ban, which to me, you guys, you can take a thumbtack and poke somebody with it, and I would consider that an assault weapon. Anything you can hurt somebody with is an assault weapon. Don't let them fool you. These ARs, Dave, tell me the truth. Are these just semi-automatic carbines, right? That's all they are.
That's it. That's it. And a true assault weapon has multiple modes of fire, guys. The only thing an AR is, it's the same thing as a Ruger Mini 14 Ranch rifle. It just has scarier furniture on it. You know, to make it look more military style. Shoots the same bullet. Uses the same magazine. You can just deck an AR out and personalize it to however you want to make it look. It is not an assault rifle. An assault rifle has multiple modes of fire.
And then it can be fully automatic, correct? And what is it, burst, fully automatic and burst and semi-automatic, Dave?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, well, good. I mean, a lot of people, Dave, it just kills me. These I'm not going to call them Democrats, these socialists.
Well,
they're scary. They're scary, Dave.
Well, you know my saying for them, my favorite word for them, and I don't care if it offends them or not. It's libtard. Libtards.
Oh, yeah, I love that word. It's true. I mean, what is tard? I mean, they have to... Listen, Dave, I mean, I hope you don't get mad. I hope nobody gets mad at me out there, but anybody living in this country today that's a United States citizen, a citizen of this country that would be willing to give up one right, you are not considered American in my book. We don't have many rights in that Constitution, and you better hold that Constitution sacred to your heart, and you better pray that Constitution's been there and that it will always stay there, Dave. That's how I feel about the United States Constitution.
And you're right, because here's the thing, guys. What you guys need to remember is if they're willing to take one constitutional right away from you, they're not going to stop till they take them all.
Yeah, when is enough ever going to be enough, Dave? If they do take the Second Amendment right, what's next? The First Amendment?
And it goes back to that. It goes back to that old thing. How do you boil a frog? You don't throw it in boiling hot water all at once because it's just going to jump out. You put it in lukewarm water and you slowly turn the temperature up, and that's exactly what they're doing to us right now, Donald.
Well, Dave, when you said that about the frog jumping out of the water, that just reminds me again, and I know we've talked about it, but that reminds me of all these federal judges that Obama was planting in all these circuit courts during his tenure as president, and nobody even realized what he was doing, because I know I didn't. Now all these circuit courts, they're full of Democratic judges, and that's another part that's hurting our country right now, is all these circuit courts. They're killing our country, Dave. They're stopping these good decisions that our president's trying to make. Everything he does, they put a stop. And
well, yeah, because they're trying to dictate policy from the bench instead of interpreting the Constitution.
The Constitution. You know what? I don't care who you vote for, Republican or Democrat, but by golly, make sure that candidate that you're voting for is a constitutional candidate. Do some background. Check him out. I mean, really,
Donald, though, here's the thing. Is a libtard ever a constitutionalist?
Maybe I said the wrong thing there, because no, if you're considered a liberal or a Democrat, no, you're not a constitutionalist. I'm sorry for saying that, but I've always been one, Dave. I want this country to come back together. And I know George Washington, he was the only president, our first president. He was actually, Dave, the only president in our history that never belonged to a party. He didn't believe in a party system. He knew it was a way to divide this country. It was a division, Dave. And that's what it's done to our country. It has divided our country. These parties, they've divided our country, Dave, and it's bad. I think it's bad for our country to be divided like this.
It is, and some people blame Obama, some people blame Trump, but it goes back, Donald, to people referring to themselves as Irish Americans, African Americans, Euro Americans. Guess what, guys? You're Americans first. I don't care what your, like Donald said, I don't care what your political affiliation is. Republican, Democrat, Independent. The bottom line is we're still Americans. We have a Constitution. Let's stop using tragedies to dictate policy. Let's go by the Constitution. Let's enforce the laws that we have on the books already, and let's come together, make this country great. We have a man in the office right now who is trying to do that, and he's being fought at every turn. Right now, he was in California today, Donald, looking at these prototypes for the walls. And you've got people out there who had rather take care of an illegal than a homeless veteran. It pisses me off.
Oh, God, I know that's a big one for you right there, Dave. And it is true. I mean, these veterans, and we've said it before, and I don't care to say it again, they're over there dying to protect our freedoms, but yet we have people over here fighting to take away the freedoms that these men and women are dying for. Dave, I can't say how much that makes me, it pisses me off too. It just really pisses me off for anybody. Ugh.
Yeah, it does me too. And then you got these sanctuary cities. Where we come from, that's called harboring a felon. Breaking a federal immigration law. So why aren't we coming in and arresting these mayors? You had an Oakland mayor who tipped off the illegals that there was an ICE raid coming. 84% of the people that ICE got, that they rounded up, were felons. They had committed crimes. They were criminals. So why do they have the right to be here when you're giving them all these social programs, and you've got a homeless veteran, you've got homeless families in the street? Why? Because the Democrats think, the libtards think, that those are votes. That's the only reason that they're doing that, is because they think that they're automatically going to vote for Democrats.
Dave, I'm glad you brought that up. And that Oakland mayor, her name was Libby Schaaf, if I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know. Libby Schaaf. She tweeted out a warning of these impeding raids. She tipped them off, Dave. You're absolutely right. She should be arrested. She should be arrested. Yes, Dave.
Lock her butt up.
Yes, we can't pick and choose laws, Dave. We can't pick and choose laws. We must enforce all laws that are on the books, and we don't need any more new laws because they're not enforcing the ones that are already there, Dave. And I hate to yell, but I get so mad when I think about these crazy, what you call them, libtards. And they make me so mad. And yes, if any libtards are out there, or patriots that want to call us, right now is your time to call. I'll give you the number one more time. It's 1-800-508-5431. Call us if you don't like us. Hey, I'm getting a call right now, Dave. I'm going to go ahead and take it, brother.
That must mean a lot of people don't like it.
All right. I gotta hit one. Hello, could you give us your name and what state you're calling from? And thank you for calling All Aboard.
This is Sheila from Texas.
Hey, Sheila from Texas. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It just hit hard when y'all were talking about the ones that are over there fighting for us to have our freedom, and then within the country, the ones that are fighting to take it away. That's a hard subject with me because I've had a lot of military in my family. My grandfather was in World War I, which some footage of a World War I soldiers, what he had to endure on all the ground. They didn't have as much equipment on the ground back in those days like that we do now. But Obama, he's downsizing our military. And when he was taking stuff over to the eastern countries, he would leave the Hummers and leave everything over there. At least in Vietnam, they were digging holes and burying what they left and trashing it where it couldn't be used again. But I just wanted to thank Michigan for passing a law for concealed carry with no license. And I just found out today that down here in Texas for over a decade, we have had weapons in our schools for protections locked up in boxes just in case of what happened like in Parkland. And they're our schools are protected down here.
That's good,
I had
Sheila.
a friend sent me a picture where they're practicing shooting and they're going to be concealed carry and it won't be nothing laying out. And they know what they're doing.
That's good.
But I appreciate what y'all guys are doing, but I heard that they're burning up some kind of, taking people's Facebook pages off, trying to get the communication down through that for the radios and that.
Sheila, I know you said you come from a military family, and I'm not trying to get into Dave's personal business, but my co-host is actually a combat veteran, and yes, he stays in Facebook jail because of some of the things he posts, because he's a patriot. They don't want to hear from my co-host here, Dave Coots, but the thing is, Sheila, is let's be watching that Pennsylvania election tonight. Let's hope they pick the right person down there. And that I think it's.
I'm praying for it.
I'm praying for it too, Sheila. And once again, I want to thank you, Sheila. And I hope we can get some more callers calling in tonight. I just hope we can get some more people. Yes, Sheila, hang on a minute. Dave's wanting to ask you a question. Go ahead. You can't hear it.
This is just some breaking news here. As of right now, Connor Lamb is leading by 5 percentage points over Saccone.
Connor Lamb, the Democrat, is leading over the Republican candidate in Pennsylvania's special election right now. So that's bad news. Sheila, this is horrible.
God.
Well, keep
He's
listening,
actually
Sheila.
leading by 18 percentage points now, Don.
How many percentage points, Dave?
18.
18?
Yes, I am, and y'all you keep doing what you're doing because it's slowly getting message out there. America, I believe, is waking up.
Well, God bless you, Sheila, and thank you for calling in. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Dave said thank you. Dave said thank you, Sheila.
Oh, he's welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
I'm not finished listening.
Well, God bless you, Sheila. Bye-bye.
Thank you, too.
Well, Dave, she didn't really like hearing about those, that Democrat down there in Pennsylvania winning. That is a shame.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's not over yet, though. Let's just hope, Dave. Let's just hope that, something happens. But if that's a precursor to these midterm elections, oh, gosh, Dave, that's very important to our country.
And that's right there where we need to get these guys fired up, Donald. We need to tell them, these midterms coming up are important, guys. You guys need to understand that silence is consent. Don't get comfortable. Don't get lazy. Don't be unpatriotic. Get out, do your due diligence. Check your candidates out. Vote, register, and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. Make sure you make a difference in these midterms that are coming up, guys. We cannot afford to lose the House. We cannot afford to lose the Senate. If we do and these libtards take control out over either one of them, Trump's presidency is going to be a gridlock because he's going to be fought on every turn. He's already being fought on every turn, and we have the majority in the House and the Senate. Just imagine if the libtards take one of these chambers, what are we going to get done?
Well, Dave, what you said there about silence is consent, I mean, let's do a little analogy. Now, I think we did it on this show a long time ago, but Dave, here's a little analogy about what you said. Silence is consent. If you are sitting across from me eating a donut, okay, and I reach over and I take your donut from you, Dave, and you let me eat that donut without speaking up, you just gave me your donut. I mean, you need to stop and say, hey, that's my donut. I mean, that's just a small analogy about silence is consent, okay? I mean, really.
Absolutely.
Listen to what Dave's telling you. Listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about. I mean, you guys, please, America, wake up. Wake up and quit this crazy stuff because, Dave, here's my big thing. Our kids and our grandchildren are going to have to live with the decisions that we're going to be making these next few years. And, Dave, I don't want this country to be a communist country. And the way it's looking, like you said, if they take over the House and the Senate and in 2020 get back to the presidency, our country's done, Dave. We're done. We're done.
Well, I think it was Ronald Reagan that said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And guys, they're better men and women, far better than we'll ever be, that have gave their life for this country, that laid down their life for just the idea of freedom, for that flag, for they give up everything so that we can be free.
In, Dave. Keep on talking. I got a call coming in. You want to take it? Here we go.
Yeah, take it.
Grasshopper
I got the best one. I'm sorry. Hello? Can you hear me?
is calling for
Okay.
extension.
Hello, thank you for calling All Aboard. Could you give us your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
In Ohio.
Hang on, someone else is calling. I don't know what's going on with this phone. Let me answer it.
Grasshopper.
Dana?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey! Yeah!
Okay, what's your first name and what state are you calling from?
It's Dana from Ohio.
Hey, Dana, how you doing?
Hey, Donald.
Oh, well, Dana, I know who you are. I know Dana. Dana, what would you like to say tonight?
And I just wanted to say you guys are doing great tonight.
You think? I hope so, because, you know, like Dave says, we are trying to change this country one show at a time, Dana, and Dave can hear you, but you can't hear him, and I know he knows who you are, so I don't have to tell him. But I thank you for calling, though. I mean, is it pretty hard to get through that 1-800 number?
No, it was real easy. I dialed it and it went straight through. It went through real easy. So
Great.
People need to call in. They need to talk to you guys. You know, need to get everybody doing the right thing, get on board, and
Hey, you're right.
The right thing, telling people to get out and vote.
You're right. Dana, we got another call coming in. Do you care if we take it?
Take it.
Dana, I got another call come in. Thank you. Okay.
Grasshopper.
Okay, I'll take it. I got hit one.
Melissa.
Hello, could you give me your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
It's Melissa in Ohio.
Hey, Melissa from Ohio, how you doing? We just seen you at the the pro-gun rally. I don't know what I meant, my anti-gun rally, but our pro-gun rally in Columbus Saturday. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm good. I'm sick, but I'm calling you anyway.
You're sick, but you're calling us anyway. That's good. So what's on your mind tonight, Melissa?
Well, I just want to talk about what happened Saturday and your comment that silence is consent. I don't know how you felt about the size of the turnout.
You want my opinion?
Kind of disappointed.
You can't hear my co-host, but he can hear you, Melissa. But yes, we are kind of disappointed because the state of Ohio has a population of a little over 11 million people, and they said that only a little over 1,000 people showed up to that rally. I know it was cold, but we should have had thousands upon thousands down there Saturday.
I'm with you. Silence is consent.
There you go.
And I don't understand why the liberals are all fired up. They get out there. They make a lot of noise. We're not doing the same thing. And it's very frustrating to me. I know that more than 1,000 people feel very strongly about their gun rights.
What do you think, Dave?
They're not willing.
You're right, Melissa. You're right. There's more than 1,000 people that feel strongly about their guns, Dave. That's what she's saying. I mean, it's horrible.
It is, and you know the sad part about it is, Melissa.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, so I'm going to hang up.
Okay, Melissa. Well, I want to thank you for calling in again. Dave can hear you, but you can't hear him, and we're working on that, Melissa. Give us time. We'll get that fixed, okay?
All right. God bless.
God bless you, Melissa.
And Donald, she's right. I mean, the turnout should have been much larger than it was, you know. And the sad part about
Dave, I'm getting another call. I'm getting another one.
Take it, brother.
All right.
Grasshopper.
Okay. Hello. Could you give me your first name and what state you're calling from, please?
Chris? I'm calling from Louisiana.
Oh, it's Chris from Louisiana. Chris, what's up, brother?
What's up, Chris?
Dave said, what's up, man?
I'm doing it. Well, I'm not doing too good.
What's the problem, man?
They tore down one of our landmarks down here in DeRidder today.
Well, did you guys get up and fight for your landmark? Did you get out and protest against it?
It was they don't let nobody. Well, they tear it down. They tear it down on Saturday. They didn't let nobody know about it.
They did that to us, Chris, but we fought and got it back.
And
hey, Chris, I just want to tell you, Dave just told me that they did the same thing to us here in Franklin. They took our rock away, our Robert E. Lee monument away in the middle of the night. So we know your frustration, brother.
And And they didn't let the residents, say how they would feel about them tearing it down. And plus, it was helping the community. Is what it was. It was a little thrift store that's been in Louisiana, that's been in DeRidder, Louisiana for over 80 years. For over 80 years.
They make backdoor deals, Chris. They make backdoor deals. They don't tell the public nothing. That's part of the problem in this country. They don't put things to a vote. So, Chris, I want to thank you for calling in, brother. Like as always, it's a pleasure to hear from you, buddy.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy. Y'all doing a good job.
Thank you, Chris. We'll be waiting for next week to hear from you again, buddy.
All right, man.
Thank you, man. Bye, Chris.
Well, I tell you what, Donald, that right there just gets me fired up here on, taking monuments and markers and stuff away, going through what we went through last year.
Yeah.
What people, conservatives, you have got to start standing up. You cannot be complacent. You have got to start fighting for your rights, because if you sit on the sideline and you do nothing, then they are going to walk all over you. And then it's too late. Once you let them go so far, it's too late to try to fight, guys. The time to fight is now. Time to make a difference is now. You have got to stand up for yourself. You have got to fight. You have got to vote. You've got to get informed. You've got to get out and make a difference. You have to. The time is now, guys. We are at war. The time is now to make a difference.
Well, here's the way I feel about it, Dave. If people... Can you hear me, Dave? I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
If people don't stand up now and this country gets destroyed in the future and I'm still alive, I don't want anybody coming up to me, because I'm telling you right now, we're telling you right now, we told you so. We told you so. And Dave, just like all these little high school kids, I mean, there's thousands of them all across the country taking these little hikes out of school, these anti-gun protests. Like Melissa said, I mean, it's shameful that we couldn't get more than 1,000 people in the Columbus, the capital of Ohio, when there's over 11 million people that live in this state, Dave. More than 1,000 people love their guns. Where in the heck were they at, Dave?
Well, the big part about it is everybody wants to talk until it's time to walk the walk. If you want to be a patriot, you want to say, that you believe in the Constitution, you're going to do the right thing. When it comes to when the rubber meets the road, and you got to get out and stand in the cold, you got to get out and walk. You got to get out and vote. You got to get out and make a difference. These people don't want to do it right now, and that's the conservative party's biggest problem right now. Donald Trump energized this party in 2016. Donald Trump got people to stand up and go vote. And look what happened, guys. They
voted, didn't they, Dave? They got out and voted, brother.
And it made a difference. It made a difference. Every poll said that man couldn't win. Hillary had picked out the drapes for the White House.
No path to 260. Remember that, Dave? Or 270? What is it? 270?
Yeah. What did he end up with? What? Three
something? Yeah, 3 something.
302, 310, something like that.
No path. But he won. You know why? Because they were motivated. Where's that motivation at today, Dave? Why did that motivation stop? Why, Dave?
And I just got a text, and it said, you know what? Conservatives are becoming complacent, and this is from a female conservative. She said that women are becoming especially complacent. Conservative women are. Guys, here's the thing: you've got all these libtard women. They're getting out there, they're screaming and shouting and wearing goofy hats and marching and stuff. And I know the conservative. We have some marches and stuff, but they're making their voice heard. Just like these kids that are walking out. Here's the thing, though, guys, with these kids, they've been indoctrinated by the left. By their teachers, and they're telling them, okay, this is for a memorial for the Parkland kids. And in reality, what's going to happen, as soon as they walk out, there's going to be a news station there sticking a camera in their face asking them about a gun.
Yeah,
it's
but Dave,
ridiculous.
How much did they show that rally we was at Saturday? It wasn't aired that much, was it, Dave? They don't want to put stuff like that on the news. And you know what? Melissa called back again. She had a good point, Dave. I loved what she said, and Sheila had said a good point. But Dave, it's true, man. We didn't get up there. We wasn't that loud. There wasn't that much media coverage. I mean, it's a shame, Dave. It's a total shame that we can't come together.
Which is why we're another call to action, guys. If you're in the state of Ohio, if you're a gun owner, I challenge you. Call. Donna will give you the number again. Call this committee. Tell them that this bill, the Senate Bill 260 in Ohio, is no good, guys. You need to have your voice heard. You need to make a difference. Call once a day. Let them know that we're not going to stand and take this anymore.
I can't, Dave. I'm looking for that number, but I don't know what I did with it, Dave. I had that number, but anyway, you guys, you can call the state clerk and get William Coley. His name is he's a senator of Ohio, William Coley II. Get his number because he runs that committee. You guys, call William Coley's office and tell him no. Let your voice be heard, because I'm telling you, when it happens, when this country gets destroyed, don't come to me complaining. Don't give me your crap because you didn't get out and do anything. There was Melissa, that girl that just called in here. She's not a girl, she's a woman, but she was out there, Dave. It was cold. Our wives were there. The cold wasn't an excuse, Dave. That was no excuse not to be at that pro-gun rally.
No, there's no excuse, guys. No excuse.
No excuse.
That you need to make a difference. At the time for sitting on the sideline, for not getting out and being involved, for not being informed, for not voting, for not speaking up, that time is over. If we do that, then this country is going to go to hell.
Well, Dave, I found the number for Senator Coley's office. So everybody out there, please listen real close one more time. We only got about 5 minutes left of our show. Call Senator Coley's office here in Ohio. It's 614-466-8072. Tell them no on State Bill 260. Now, Dave, I wanted to talk to you about something else tonight. Trump agreed to meet with North Korea's Kim Jong-un for nuclear talks. I mean, that tells me how effective our president is, Dave. What do you think about him agreeing to meet with this guy?
Oh, I think it's great. Here's the thing. All these other presidents showed weak leadership, and they couldn't have the results that Trump has right now. Why? Because he's a leader. He's an intellectual. He's a smart man. He knew what he was doing. Do you think that Obama would have met with him? No, because he drew a line in the sand. It got crossed. He drew another line in the sand. It get crossed. So there's no repercussions. Little Rocket Man knows he can't do that with Trump. He can't, and he knows that.
Dave, what about President Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense with a guy named James Mad Dog Mattis? Kim Jong knows. He knows that we're not playing games. I mean, I'm talking about a guy named James Mad Dog Mattis.
Exactly.
This is a general, he was a general, but this is a good Secretary of Defense, Dave.
Oh, I think he's probably will go down as one of the best Secretary of Defenses in the history of our country. And I mean, when a man says, be courteous, be polite, but have a plan to kill everybody in the room, or when he's interviewed and they say, what keeps you up at night, and he says nothing. I keep people up at night. I mean, that's a warrior.
Well, Stephen Colbert, Dave, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's a talk show host, and he was on there making jokes about this North Korean thing. It's no joke, Dave, and no, Dennis Rodman is not going to get, nor does he deserve, a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, oh God, I think this, Dave, it just pisses me off, and I hate to even cuss on here, but for somebody like Stephen Colbert to get on there and make jokes about Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un. I mean, does people realize this is nuclear weapons we're talking about? Trump has backed them down. He's basically backed them down, I believe, Dave.
I think you're right, Donald. I think he's showed strong leadership. They know that they can't push this administration around like they have in the past. They know that they're not going to cut deals. They're not going to do the things that these past administrations have done. So it's time to sit down. It's time to come to the table. Dennis Rodman didn't do that. Trump did that. And the thing about it is, we talk about mainstream media. Unfortunately, I think our president could cure every cancer known to man, and the mainstream media wouldn't give him credit for it, and they would find a way to try to twist it to make him look bad.
It's terrible, Dave. I mean, just people like Stephen Colbert and you was saying something earlier. I think we got like a minute or so left, but Hillary Clinton was over in India and she made this speech and she was hammering our president. Dave, that's a bunch of crap too. I'm tired of her going around running her mouth about our president. I know she's over there making money from her little speeches, Dave. But what do you think about her, real quick, man?
Honestly, I don't think Hillary Clinton is a has-been. I think she's a never was.
A has-been that never had. A has-been that never was. Right, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, she's not even worth talking about. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I said earlier, she had the drapes picked out in the White House, and when the conservative people stood up, we made a difference, and you see who our leader is now.
Oh God, Dave, I got so much more we need to talk about, but we got our 40-second warning, Dave. That's the end of our show. It went so quick. I want to say goodbye to everybody. God bless you, and fight back. Tell them, Dave.
Absolutely, guys. God bless. And remember, silence is consent. Stand up, make a difference.
Tune in next week, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., Tuesday night, all aboard. God bless each and every one of you out there listening. And call Ohio Senator William Coley. God bless America. God bless our president, Dave.
Absolutely, guys. Remember, silence is consent. You can make a difference.
Okay.